My name is Tia Tran. This is my awesome husband, my handsome husband, Peter Tran, right over here. For those who don't know us, I used to be a nail tech before I started. And Peter actually used to be a chef before we started here. And we have 3 little amazing kids. They're just the love of our lives. We love them, and they're the reason why we do what we do here. And you know, the opportunity to get started here and to build a business here really came to us at a perfect time. We were at a time where I just had my first son, we just became parents, and you know, the moment that I saw my son, I realized I can't work the same hours I used to work before I had him. Because there's no way I was leaving this little newborn to go work 6 days a week, all day, every day. Right? So I decided to be a stay-at-home mom at that time. Peter was a chef. He was working restaurant hours. He was the head chef, he was the manager. He was working 6 days a week, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Missed all the holidays, missed all the birthday parties because he was working. Right? So, you know, when it came to the time where we needed more money, Peter came to his boss and he asked him for a raise. Now, he didn't get it. Right? That's when we needed the most, and I think he deserved a raise at that time. And that's when we realized we have absolutely no control over our time and our money. And that's when we also realized there has to be a better way. And there was, right? That's when we came across this opportunity. We decided to give it a shot because we realized, you know, there's nothing for us to lose, there's everything for us to gain. Now, I don't know, you guys probably are aware, but we're both born here. Our parents really moved here to America for better opportunities, actually, ultimately for freedom, right? And they gave up everything they knew to come over here. They didn't know the language, right? They didn't know the people, they didn't have connections, but they really had hope that there was better opportunities here, so then their family, their kids, which is us, are gonna have a better future, right? Now, you know, they didn't even know the basics, so they didn't understand the money game either. They didn't understand how money worked. They knew how to work really, really hard for money, but they didn't know how to have money working hard for them. Right? So when a cash value agent comes their way, a lousy cash value agent, and sells them a life insurance product, it tells them this is gonna be your retirement, this is gonna pay for your kids' college, right? This is gonna protect your kids in case, God forbid, something happens to you. This is gonna help you start a business. And they say all these good things. Of course they're going to want to buy it, right? And that's exactly what happened to our parents, right? Our parents bought this cash value life insurance product in the hopes that it was going to do all those things for them. Now, it didn't, right? When we got licensed and we got taught how to read these contracts and we were taught how money concepts worked, we looked at them and they were actually going to have $0 for retirement, right? This money that was supposed to solve all their problems was not going to do any of that. They were overpaying, it was leaving them underinsured, and they were unprepared for the future, right? So, you know, this policy, they were paying hundreds of dollars a month for, hundreds of dollars that actually didn't come easy to them, right? And especially for Peter's mom, she was a single mom. So she was working really hard to pay this product that she thought was gonna do everything for her. So, you know, I thought that was unfair. So that's why we really love what we do. We're really passionate in what we do because we get to educate families on how these products work, right? And one great thing that I always tell Peter is, you know, when we sit down with clients, I know one day they're gonna look back and they're gonna say, thank God we sat down with Peter and Tia and their team instead of any of these other cash value agents from these other cash value companies, because that meeting that we had with them, that meeting made $1 million difference in our financial future, right? Thank you. And not just, you know, do we love helping people here, we also wanted to build a business here. We wanted to build something big, something solid for our family. Our parents didn't move over here for us to build a business, build wealth for another family, right? Build a business for another family. We knew we wanted to build a business for us and our family and our last name and build a legacy for our family as well. So that's what we have the opportunity to do here, is to build a really strong business where we can take control over our time and money and ultimately freedom. So we can spend that time with our kids, we can give opportunities to our kids, like Bruce Koch talked about earlier. And what's really, really beautiful about our opportunity here is that we can share it with other people. Right? We can share it with our family and friends, right? We can share it with the people around us and other families. And that's what's amazing, because I love seeing people that come into our business and they knew nothing about finance. They had no background in business, but they're able to make a few $1,000s a month here, and they use that to pay off their debt, or they use that to spend time with their kids, or they use that money to invest for themselves for their retirement that they didn't have unless it was for this opportunity. I also love seeing people who thought there was no way out. They hated their job, right? They thought they were gonna have to work here for 35 years, but now they finally see a way out, right? And I'm really proud of Team Transformation in here. Really stepped up for themselves, for their families, for their goals. And we are here. We're here on your corner. We're always going to be here to support you to reach your highest potential as well. And I think I get to now bring out my amazing partner, my amazing husband. He's the rock of our family. He's the leader of our family. One of my superpowers I think I have is the fact that I have an amazing partner by my side. This is somebody that strengthens my weaknesses. It's somebody I can blame when things go wrong. So you guys give it up to my amazing husband, Peter Tran.
Hello, everybody. Give it up to my beautiful wife, guys. This is amazing. She really changed our business. Before this, I'm an A-type personality, so I have no structures and no system. And she came in and she really became the few trader. The business started duplicating ourselves, so she's the superstar of the team. But I want to take a moment today to share with you guys an experience that I have experienced in the past 12 months. When I first started working with the company, I hear people say, hey, when you pay your first debt claim in the company, your view of the business changed completely. And within the last 12 months, Tia and I, we paid our 4 debt claims. And it's really true, it's nothing compared to it. So I'm gonna go over some of these debt claims, some of these stories. So the first one was my best friend, uncle. He passed away actually overseas. He went back to Vietnam, passed away in Vietnam. And if you know a lot of insurance companies, they might deny that claim. But no, not Primerica. We paid that claim out, no questions asked. Okay? The second claim was a high school friend, ex-husband, mother-in-law. And when we sat down with her, she had a whole life insurance policy. She was paying over $300 a month for only $50,000 of coverage. We replaced that policy and gave her $150,000 of coverage for $99 a month. Okay. 6 years later, she passed away. Because we sat down with her, they get 3 times the amount of death benefits. And Primerica paid that claim 3 days after the death certificate received. 3 days, no questions asked. Claim number 3 was one of Tia's friends, longtime friends. It was his father who passed away, healthy guy, 49 years old, nothing's wrong with him, heart attack, boom, just passed away just like that guy. You never know what can happen. And we paid that debt claim out as well in less than 2 weeks. But the last one, the 4th debt claim was very unique. So everything that's happened in a time span of about less than a year. We will refer to this client, we sat down with them, she applied for life insurance in October. And there was a lot of complications getting the policy issued, but we finally got an issue after 4 months. It was issued in February, applied in October, issued in February. She passed away with cancer in May. Okay, so you can kind of do the math, right? Something is up with this whole thing. So when Primerica took the time to start digging into this policy and figuring out the whole underwriting process, they found, a list of hospital record, cancer hospital record that she had visited. But you know what was so crazy? I didn't think this claim was gonna get paid out. Primerica waived every single one of those records and decided to pay the claim anyway. No questions asked. We might not be the most affordable life insurance out there. We might not be the cheapest one, but we always deliver on this matter, guys. And that's why I love this company. It might be very difficult for you to get coverage with us. But you know what? When we do decide to cover you, we will pay. And that's what I love about this company. That's what I love about this opportunity. And most importantly, why I love this team, this environment, what Shaq, Samir have built it for us. I mean, like, this is incredible, guys. We are surrounded by the best and have the opportunity to succeed. So I hope everybody to get the most out of this event, and let's win together, everybody.